Hi guys, me Ty here, coming from Phnom Penh, Cambodia, and today I'm going to talk about going to the hospital here because I just went here for the second time now, and um, the other time I was really happy with the service at this hospital, so I decided to go there again, and I'm going to say that I'm going to probably guess that this is probably the main hospital for Phnom Penh, just because of how full it is of people, and they have different wings or sections of this hospital. Well, one section is called the Cambodia Korea Friendship Eye Center, if you would type it into Google Maps. And then um, on the bus stop right next to it, it says Priya on Doan Hospital Bus Interchange. So I'm assuming that's the actual name of the big, huge hospital. And how you spell that is Preah is one word, and the next word is on, which is ANG, and then the next word is spelled DOUNG, and then next word is hospital. And so what happened is, um, one of my ears is all plugged up. I can't hear out of it really. And well over 10 years ago, one of my coworkers said, every few years a person should go in to get the earwax cleaned out of their ears, especially people that wear like earplugs to help them sleep, which that's what I do around here because it does get so loud. So I went into the hospital and they have two sections. They have that eye center, which is extremely full of patients waiting to get in. And then they have another wing that's pretty busy, but not nearly that busy. And that one is called the ear, nose, and throat sections. That's where I went last time. So the whole procedure there is you go to the receptionist and she asked, "What's wrong with you?" And I said, "My ears need cleaning, the wax out of them." And she goes ahead, she gives me a ticket, and it says what counter number. I think there was like five reception counters. And here in Cambodia, you have to pay for each service before they perform it on you. So she told me go to counter number one, and there everybody pays a $10 fee, and that's just for the doctor to look at you. So I paid my $10 fee. She gives me a piece of paper, and they send me to a room, and I show it to them. And then I go in there and I wait in line. There's probably like seven people in front of me, and there was probably, ooh, I would say maybe 7 to 10 doctors in there. Each of them had a chair, and they sent me over to one of them, and he asked what's wrong. I told him I was like my I was like my ears, and one of them I can barely hear out of, and I was like I think that they need the wax cleaned out of them. So he went ahead and he looked them over, and he's like, yes, this one here is completely plugged up. He's like, this one isn't that bad, and he's like, would you do you just want the one cleaned out, or do you want both of them? I was like, this is a maintenance thing on me that I should be doing every few years. And I was like, I want them both done. And he's like, okay. So he goes ahead and he marks an X2 on there to mean times two or whatever. And he's like, you go back to sent me back to the front reception girl to counter number two this time. And the girl's like, okay, it will be another $10 to do the treatment. So they had me pay that. And then I went back to the doctor or whatever and his nurse or whatever, the nurse there. And she's like, sir, you'll have to wait outside because it takes longer. And she's like, we will call you in when one of the doctors is ready to work on you. So I waited out there probably an hour before they called my name. And I went in there and actually went to a different doctor, and they took like a almost like a straw or spoon scalper or whatever. They just rotated in there, and that's how they extracted the wax out of there. And there was a lot in that ear, and then the other one probably not much. And then as soon as they were done there, they sent me back to my original doctor, and he told me all about it. And he's like, um, he's like, you should probably come in more often to get your ears cleaned out with wax every few years, whatever. And I was like, well, is there a time frame or whatever? And he's like, it's not really a time frame, but he's like, you definitely don't want to leave it like that because if your ears plugged up completely with wax, you run the risk of having an ear infection. So, um, so he's like, if your ears start to hurt after a few days and don't really clear up, you can come back and I'll give you medicine, which I'm sure would be like eardrops for this. So, um, the biggest difference between this visit to this hospital and my other visit was that the first one, I had a cold that just wasn't going away, and I paid my $10 to go and visit with him, and he diagnosed me right there, and he's like, "Yep, I'm just gonna write you a prescription for medicine." But when he actually has to do some work on you, you end up waiting an hour, you guys. So, but like I said, they did a great job, and seemed like there are so many people inside this hospital that, like I said, it's like all the Cambodians go here. And actually, the both times I've been there, I've never seen a single foreigner. I'm the only foreigner in there, but I think they do darn good work. A lot of the Cambodians, they were sent from different wings of the hospital. Like we talked to my doctor, and they had their big sheet of paper, which was their in an envelope, which was their X-rays. Some of them, like the lady next to me, um, she said she had something wrong with her nose, and they had an X-ray of her skull and everything that she was carrying, all the paperwork. So it looks like they have really good equipment there, and almost like they had a water pick. And then also every country does their medical procedures a little bit differently. Like over 10 years ago, I had the earwax cleaned out of my ear back in the United States, and there my doctor he used a water pick to cut it out of there, and then they were able to extract it um, with the tweezers or whatever. So it was different going this route here. So, but either way, it all works out fine. Just like with my dental implant that I had here done here in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Um, there, I think it was only like 5 months for a front tooth with all the bone grafting and everything, and it has held up great, you guys. It's been uh, getting close to a year now since I've had it, and the tooth and bone are holding up nicely. Whereas when I was going up to Canada to save money, because the United States is so expensive to have dental work done, there it took me a full 2 years from start to finish with all the bone grafting, but that was a molar in the back. Um, so I hope this helps you guys in your research of what hospital to choose here in Phnom Penh. Like I said, I really like this hospital. It's really nice. Um, so I would suggest this hospital to anybody. So if you guys like this content, like, share, and subscribe. And I will keep kicking out these videos from Phnom Penh, Cambodia, just about saving money, my daily life here over the winters. Also my repair videos on working on your vehicles and houses and stuff like that. And yeah. All right. If you guys like all this content, like, share, and subscribe. All right. Bye.